Here's the gap that nobody really warns you about. Knowing how to make the thing and knowing how to sell the thing are two completely different skills. One Skillshare class covers the second one, taught from inside Etsy by a producer who runs a shop of his own. Nearly 51,000 students have taken it. This is building an Etsy shop that sells, strategies for e-commerce success, taught by Parker Gard, 6 lessons, 41 minutes, built for people opening their very first shop. So here's the plan for the next 8 minutes. The marketplace you would be joining, the product and the customer, the brand and the keywords, then the review data and who should skip it. Lesson 2 starts by defining the thing you are about to join. A marketplace is a community of people who come together to sell, the flea market, the craft fair, the shopping mall, and now, overwhelmingly, the internet, a crowd that already shops. And here is exactly why that crowd matters. Nobody just searches for shirt, they search for the type, the style, the color, the size. So a shopper hunting for precisely your thing can actually go and find it. Success then looks different for everyone. A Project Runway winner selling wedding gowns. A couple hand-painting wooden dolls now made in a small town in Colombia. 2 shops, 2 answers. So Chapter 2, who is actually teaching this? Parker Gard, a video content producer at Etsy. He works on the seller content team, which means he spends his days looking at what really does sell inside the marketplace. But the better credential here is a much smaller one. He is an Etsy seller himself. He could not find a wallet that he liked, so he went and made one, and then he had to learn every single thing he teaches here. Which means he has stood on both sides of the stall, platform insider and small seller at the same time. So every idea in here arrives attached to a real shop with a real name. Chapter 3, the contents. Inside, it is 41 minutes across 6 lessons. An introduction, then 5 lessons that each answer one question. Nothing runs past 12 minutes. Bite-sized by design. And the ordering is doing real work. Lesson 2 sets the scene. Lesson 3, the longest in the class at over 11 minutes, refines the product and finds the customer. Lesson 4 builds the brand on top of that. Lesson 5 gets you found. And Lesson 6 asks what you actually want out of any of it in the first place. And notice which lesson is the biggest. 11.5 minutes on a single question, and most of that goes on who exactly is going to buy this thing. So the product, the class calls it the aha moment. The moment a thing you made quietly becomes a thing you could sell. His own arrived as a wallet. He could not find one he liked anywhere and would not pay handmade prices for one, so he made his own. Then a friend took one look and said, I would buy that. Somebody else had legitimized it, and the hobby became a product. Then it hands you 3 questions and asks you to answer all of them honestly. First, what makes it unique? A tiny detail, a material, a method. Leanne Marshall's wedding dresses are not all white. Second, what does it actually do? A problem solved, a feeling given, a joy delivered. And third, why did you make it in the first place? Because your own motivation is the closest thing you have to the motivation of the person who buys it. Which brings us to the other half of that lesson, and the part most first shops skip entirely. Then find the buyer. 11 minutes, and this is where they go. Your target customer is whoever connects with you on lifestyle, location, price, values, and style. The advice is to go deep rather than broad. Not soap. Organic soap, ethically sourced. Fewer shoppers, and every one of them wants exactly this. 2 shops show the 2 ways to hook them. Boku Design sells a look. Bags screen printed with their own drawings, rustic meeting geometry. Illuminated Perfume sells a way of living. Roxana calls herself a champion of nature, and the products follow. And then the pro tip, do not over-forecast. Start with 1 or 2 items and list them several ways. 4 colors listed separately, different titles, different photographs. Every listing is a cheap experiment, and the traffic tells you which words worked. Lesson 4 is the brand, and it opens with something very close to an equation. Why you started, plus how you make it, plus what you value, plus the whole look and feel. Communicated together, all of that is your brand message. And it answers the only question that really matters here. Why buy from you and not from somebody else entirely? And it lives absolutely everywhere the products live. The shop banner, the listing photographs, the item titles, the about page, the packaging, the little note in the box, and the way you answer a message. Then you stop and you audit the whole lot. What story do all of these tell together? What do I feel when I look at it? And most usefully of all, what does somebody who is not you feel? Lesson 5 is discoverability, which is a long word for search. Your brand decides whether they buy. Keywords decide whether they ever see you. The example is a real tag from that wooden doll shop, not toys but natural kids' toys, and keep the words honest. A trending term you do not really match brings the wrong shopper who leaves. Then the class steps outside the marketplace altogether. A separate social account just for the shop, posts that fit the brand even when they are not products at all. Partnerships with bloggers who share your values because their audience already wants the thing you make. And then the shop stats, which exist to close the gaps between being seen, being clicked, and being bought from. And lesson 6 is the one everybody skips, and it is about goals. Quit the day job or just make some extra spending money or sell a set number of orders every month. Sweeping or oddly specific, it does not matter, write them down. Because after you launch, there is a long stretch where you are mostly just learning. Watch the shop, watch the customers, watch the posts. Then go back to those goals and ask whether you are meeting them and whether they are even still the goals you want. They can change, they probably should. Step back and the whole class is really one sequence. Market, product, customer, brand, discovery, goals, 41 minutes, and the order is the entire point. Each answer narrows the next question, so that is the class. Now for the student's verdict in numbers. So does it deliver? 87% of students said the class met or exceeded expectations. 35% said it exceeded them outright. And on the most liked board, the winner is helpful examples with 481 votes. Engaging teacher sits one single vote behind it. Then audio and video quality, clarity, organization, and actionable steps. A tight little cluster with nothing trailing badly. Examples topping that board makes a lot of sense. Almost every single idea in this class arrives attached to a real shop that you can go away and look at, which is a very different thing from advice delivered in the abstract. So who is it for? Anyone who has had the aha moment and no idea what happens next. Vintage sellers and curators who get their own advice throughout, and anyone opening a first shop because the groundwork travels. If you want a click-by-click dashboard tour, skip it. Because underneath the product, the brand, and the keywords, the class keeps quietly asking the same small question. Just 5 words. Who exactly is this for? Answer that one properly and the product sharpens up, the brand very nearly writes itself, and the keywords stop being a guessing game entirely. It is a far better question than what should I sell? Which brings us at last to the final verdict. So the verdict, worth 41 minutes. Comfortably, you leave with a way to interrogate your own product, a definition of your customer, a brand you can actually describe, and keywords that are not a guess. It is included with a Skillshare membership and there is a free trial, so those 41 minutes are the whole price. One last thing before you go, and it is the part that actually matters. And do not go hunting around for the class. The link in the description gets you in free through Skillshare. Tap it, press play, then write down one single goal before you open anything else at all. That is the assignment, and I will see you in the next review.